Hello, welcome to Handmade by Julia Quinn. I'm here getting all of my things ready for my new products that have just arrived. They're part of the pre-order that we're allowed to have as Stampin' Up demonstrators. We can order early from the brand new catalogue. It's definitely a good time to be a demonstrator when we're getting things early. But I just wanted to show you how I go about organising all of my things and storing all of my tools. So the Countryside Corners stamp set here is a red rubber stamp set, and there are instructions inside the case how to put your stamps together, and that includes a sticker sheet as well. So you can always follow the instructions as well, but I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find out what I'm up to here. That the instructions are there, but this is how I do mine. I peel the rubber apart and then take the backing off. This is waxy, so it won't stick onto your stamping blocks. Now this is sort of a bit tacky, but not really. But this sticker here is what has the tack so that it will stick to your block properly. I'll show you on the block. There are some demonstrators, just moved everything, apologise. There are some demonstrators who just put stamps straight on the block, but I actually prefer to do the sticker because I like to see what I'm stamping. So the sticker does have a cut bit halfway through your stamped image, and you take off both of your pieces there, and then you hold the red rubber up the right way, and it's quite easy with this one, but with words you can see exactly the same image on there. So I can have a look to see if there's anything in particular. No, this one's symmetrical and all the same. And then you just line it up inside the framework of the sticker there, stick it down and then peel it off, and your sticker is already on your stamp. And then I pop it straight inside I put my red rubber stamps in like that so that I can see what is missing and what needs to be coming, especially when I'm doing lots of projects and I've got stamps out all over my desk, all over the place. I'm just trying to see if I've got another stamp set I can show you here. So when I've got my framework there, I can see I have all of the stamps available. They're all away, there are none missing. And with the red rubber, you can also just look through the back to know that you haven't got any missing. So that's the stamp. And then this one actually comes with a coordinating set of dies. And hallelujah, thank you, Stampin' Up. The dies have exactly the same name as the stamps so that they're easy to find, and they come in this lovely plastic folder. And I like to keep my dies inside the plastic folder because sometimes I use them independently of the stamp sets. Some people do keep their dies in with their stamp sets in the same container so that they're always coordinating. But then if I'm using this stamp set, for example, and I want a frame, I may not think to look inside this stamp set for a frame that would work with one of my greetings, for example. So the first thing I do is use my trusty die mate. This I had when the children were at school. I don't have any more children at school anymore, but this is still a great tool for me to use in my craft room. Hello everybody who's here. I was just discovered how I can find comments, so I've been trying to work that out on the side. So it's a great tool to use. So what I always do, and this is always also part of the bundle as well, I get the actual name of the product, type it into my little Dymo, stick it on. On my embossing folders, I always put these words, this end first. It is crucially important that when you feed your embossing folders into your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with the spine first, because they build up pressure between the wheels of the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it needs to escape. If you feed it with the open end first, it will break the hinge. And the hinge is pretty important to how your embossing folder works really, really well. So it's crucial that is always fed hinge first. So I put that in for all of my customers all of the time. And then I have also got my label ready for my Countryside Corners dies, the same as the Countryside Corners stamp set. And I pop it at the top of my pocket here, just peel off the back. And the other thing that I love to do, and I find incredibly useful, is I read the very, very fine print right down the bottom of the packaging of the dies. Sorry, having troubles. Radio. There it is. Countryside Corners dies up the top, because I flip through them in my box of tricks. I have all of my dies arranged alphabetically and flip through them, so I like to have the label at the top. But I read the fine print down the bottom. Here, it's really hard to see. It says there are 7 pieces. Every single set of dies I do, I always have the number of pieces, and I just pop it down the bottom. So once again, when I'm using my products, when I go to put them all away, I know I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. Now the thing I do with my dies is put them onto a magnet. Now I just buy the real cheapy self-adhesive magnet sheet from your cheap shops. All sorts of cheap shops should have them. If they have a craft section or scrapbooking section, most of them have that lovely self-adhesive magnetic sheet. And I just chop it up. There's nothing very beautiful about how I chop it up. It's about practicality. So I just chop away at it and cut with my strong scissors. And this particular die set only has, you can see how many pieces of sticky tape there are usually, and that's where I aim. And I always bend my cardstock, not my dies, when I'm taking them off, because you don't want to bend your dies. Oh, that's not the piece I wanted. Wrong example, folks. Here we go. Here's the piece I wanted, because it's self-adhesive. So there's only one piece of sticky tape on this one. So I peel off the adhesive backing, pop that across, and then I can just pop all of my dies back in like that. And they're all done and dusted. I do continue to put the packaging back in the packet with them, so in case I ever need it again. One hint that I did hear from Sarah, the CEO of Stampin' Up, was to put your dies in back to front, so that you've always got a easy way to slide the pocket opening in. So I could try that one day, but I actually like to be able to, when I'm flipping through my die box, I like to be able to see the dies as well as the label to know which ones I'm looking for, especially if I'm looking for a die that doesn't exactly coordinate with the same stamp set. So there you go, those ones are all labelled. And I do exactly the same thing with my punches as well. My punches all have, excuse me, reaching across, that one was pretty self-explanatory, but they all have a label on as well, so I know them. And then while I've got you here showing you new things, I'd like to show you how our ink pads come. They all come wrapped in plastic, which is really fantastic, because sometimes they're a bit leaky, and I do have a couple of leaky ones, but I'm just going to clean them up before I use them. On the back of your ink pad is some stickers. There's this little tab here you can lift up. So these stickers are to stick on your pad so that you can read it. Now this one is blank. I always put that one on the top of my ink pad on this side right there. And then this time with the new colours we have 2 in English. I always just used to use another language. It didn't worry me very much. So Moody Mauve, I'm going to stick that on the front so that when it's in my storage I can see the label. And then the other Moody Mauve, peel that off there. I will stick on the other side of my ink pad. Now, the reason why I stick them there is when you have an ink pad open on your desk, you have both of the colours on either side so that you can see what colour ink pad you have, especially when you're using lots of colours. You can see I've been using lots of colours today. That's all over my hands. So on there, on either side, there is actually a gap here at the front that you're supposed to put one of the sticky labels so that it's easy to see, but that's beyond my ability to be able to get the sticker in there. So I just use the same, each of the sides and the front for my storage. And look, I've already got ink on my fingers and on the ink pad. There you go. Some basics 101 about how I put things together. Just finished putting all of the things away, all my new goodies. So watch this space as I learn to play with my new toys. And thank you so much for joining me, Monica and Lynn and whoever else is here. I didn't get to see before the comments don't stay up. I have a complaint to make. They don't stay up so I can see them by the time. Oh, there we are. Hello, Lynn and Monica. Thank you so much for joining me. I can see my comments. And thank you for the lovely feedback. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye now.